Stories are rites of passage that should never exist. My name is Osadimibi, and every week I will tell you a short story written by a Nigerian writer or author. That's the long and short of it. So without much ado, this week's story is by Onyinye Kalu, and it's titled The October Gentleman. I should run away. I should definitely bound right out the door right now and out into the yard through the path I had walked multiple times as I planned my escape from this dignified sale of my body. Given the head start, I could probably lose my expected horde of pursuers if I stick to the plans I had made and fortified the past few months before this dreaded but expected event. There are loads of smiles floating around me, most of whom I would rather program myself to deem as fake, because if they were anything short of pretentious, it would mean that the world was even more wicked than the books I hide to read say. But my mind doesn't even register any faces at the moment. Not enough to give me a target to hate after I have been handed over to one of the gentlemen, the one who would most likely be the richest of the lot. Mommy says that's how it's supposed to be, because I am the most deserving of all the girls this season. It is why I begin to find holes in my premeditated plan. They would never let me go that easily. For reasons of being of ripe age at the right time and beautiful, I sit at the very center of attention. The other girls have better odds than I do at escaping. And it just now occurs to me that maybe last night, while we sat around the open fire for the last time, that maybe I should have briefed them of the path I made, explained the point where you stop following the path and go through the forest without fear of anyone following behind, because further down the deserted path are red herrings which make it seem like someone was there. Maybe I would be more fulfilled if just one of us got away. So I sit stuck and distressed in the midst of the negotiations and biddings, while being unable to even show the slightest bit of my distaste because of the layers and layers of makeup aimed at making us look even more appealing. I am already resigned to fate, and I don't have much of a fight to put up any more than just to watch without a smile. The smallest bit of disobedience to Mommy's teachings I can manage. The men, contrary to my imagination of nastiness, so my thoughts of biting off one of their ears would be justified, are ever truly as gentlemen who don't even want us for themselves, but for the demand of younger sex workers who supposedly make their older clients feel younger. These men have gentle smiles and a pathetic look in their eyes, but nothing about them warrants hate, even though they are about to take us out of our ordinary and into a life of bondage. There is one who has held my gaze from the moment I sat and glanced up. My subconscious seems to hate him the most. Instead of huge yellow cat-like eyes, his are dark brown and patient, watching me from across the room. Watching me and no one else. Instead of lips parted in an ugly sneer to show fangs to complement his grim face, his is more of a subtle kind of handsome, a gentleman. They have overruled my fantasy of what they would be like. Sitting poised and calmly going about their bidding like it was the most natural thing to be buying human beings. But not him. He just sits quietly staring at me, and I already know he will be the one to get me. He seems to know it too. They all do. Maybe he is the one Mommy meant as deserving of the best this season had to offer. So when my turn comes, having been saved for last, the bidding is short. Most of the gentlemen sit back with ogling eyes while puffing on big cigars, so the atmosphere is thick with smoke. Some try nevertheless, and this is the first time I hear his voice, which resounds with such finality. The event wraps up shortly after the bidding for me ends, and there are no tearful goodbyes. Mommy has taught us better than that. We all file out of the large sitting room to the yard filled with the shiny cars of the gentlemen, and little by little, the yard empties of cars and girls. His calm smile infuriates me as he guides me to his automobile, engine started and ready to move by the driver sitting within. In a final act of defeat, I let my eyes flicker over the compound one last time before I settle into the plush leather seats of the car and the door closes to conceal the teardrop which escapes my eyes. Onyinye Kalu is a writer who resides in Abuja. She writes to explore the depths of her being and to understand the unique experiences which shape our lives. You can read more of her work on Substack at As I Live and Breathe, and connect with her on Instagram at Onyi Reads and Writes. Details and links will be in the episode's description. If you've got a story you would like to be featured on this podcast, or a published book you want to make into an audiobook, I would love to hear from you. Send an email to info@osademebi.com or send me a message at Osademebi on either Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or X. I look forward to collaborating with you. And if you've enjoyed this week's episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with that one person you know will enjoy listening. Tell them that stories are a good escape for a few minutes each week.